Alright, and we're streaming. Okay, so we have 4 in the queue, as has been mentioned in chat. So this is going to be Prospero, Aegon, Rumi, and myself, the usual opener. Good luck to you all. In the meantime, just arrange my windows a little bit. That should do. Okay. It feels like I haven't played in a long while, but equally I've just had a long week, and I've got overtime this weekend as well, so yay. Anyway, we've been in reasonable form as things go. It's just going to be a case of whether we maintain the momentum. Yeah, it's just been a long week. All I can say about that, really. You won last week. You did, actually. You did win last week. You managed an awesome comeback, which I meant to review and have saved for that purpose. But I had family round this week, so yeah, not had the spare time to do things. I will definitely do some analysis on that run, though. But if you keep that form up, then no reason why you can't win again here. In the meantime, though, and now I see it all disappear. Possibly. Okay, we start south and have a pretty reasonable opening hand. I've got no complaints with this whatsoever. I guess the question is, do we consider this Sanch queue as a thing? But I'm not sure we do. I'll obviously try and keep it around as long as it's required, but I think we're much more likely to go other directions with this. Because now this 9 is the loosest tile I've got here, and sort of drawing a 7 or an 8 now, I'm probably not. And even this 9 isn't necessarily good with this. Yeah, there we go. It's a little awkward. Well, I say it's a little awkward. We got rid of the 1. Actually, this is probably still our pair, but obviously now if we draw a 3, we've basically undone that. But again, 1, 2, 2, 4. Minimal odds of the 1 being useful in that position, I think. Dora. Yeah, so even here we're sort of leaning away from that a bit more. So 9 and 4 remaining loose tiles here for our Tarn pin attempt. Yeah, let's push. This is a push to Ishanten, and I'm quite happy to do this to try and steal the dealership. Four pin does nothing. We'll play Forso now because, again, trying to maintain the illusion that we are there or thereabouts, and South might be a more useful tile later on in the game. 6 from my hand. Again, if anybody's tracking this, and really by anybody I think Rumi, maybe Prospero, again, just changing the tile in our hand means that our hand is upgraded in some small capacity. Because 6 isn't a safe tile, it was a removal from the hand, so it has to be, you know, has to mean something. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. But it's, you know, if somebody's tracking, they might overthink that. Like I'm doing, explaining this overthinking process. Nope. Yeah, the 2-5 is awkward here because, again, 2's Bedora indicates there's 1 less of it, but also it being near Bedora means it's questionable. We could potentially get the south, but I think we're happy with the way things are going at the moment. Okay. 2-5. But clearly it's cheap. I mean, it is cheap if we get this. It's only 2 hand, but it's 2 hand to become dealer. And we take the first strike and have the lead going into our dealer turn. Okay, pair of wests and an east. Hand's a little awkward, but we'll see what happens here. It's possible we go Honitsu with this. It's going to depend a lot on what our first couple of draws are. And with that, I'm kind of more inclined to keep this and go for something like Pinfu. Maybe try and incorporate this. Yeah. Okay, we'll go this way round. It's a little awkward, and we'll probably have to play the east on the next turn, but what can you do? Play east here. So good news is we managed to incorporate that, even if we're in a weird double pair weight. 6 is still helpful here. Pair run. Still got the wests for safe tiles. That was a great draw, actually. So Ishanten. Either a close 7 or a Pinfu. Pinfu either way. Possible Pinfu Sanchku, depending on how this goes. 2/7's pins have disappeared, but that's not to say we won't get that. I mean, Prosperous played 1. He might play a second if he gets it. Reach Pinfu though. So no ultra high end, but we got at least a two-sided weight. 4/7's usually what I find is the one that happens the rarest in terms of people discarding into it. But I mean, a 7 in both directions have been played. But 5 outs as dealer, first reach. With a card on the board suddenly. Well, this is now reach draw 2. And there's some aggressive calling going on, and we sumoed. And we hit an Ura. Was this an Ura we were going to hit anyway? Oh no, this Fedora we got. For some reason I thought that was Ura, but yeah, no, I wasn't. Mangan there. Still. Yeah, canning me into the Mangan. And let's see if we can keep going. Reasonable lead built up here. You had it there. It wasn't head bump or anything. We'd have had a double win if that was the case. Yeah, I was tempted to go for a Chanter style hand with this, but I don't think there's a massive need. So second call for a closed weight. Or not. We'll just be in Tempai on turn 4 with an edge 7. Chin only, but chin only is chin only. And as I said, if you can call for Tempai, it's almost always in your interest to call for Tempai. Alright, this hand looks pretty decent. So, double ton, good string of numbers. I think there's some momentum going on here. And, of course, Aiden giving us the cheap cheaps, but, you know, that's what you do in this game. You play cheap where you can. It is far more important to win cheaply and disrupt other players than to try for big hands that never pay off. That being said, is always an exception. A big hand will win you the game if you manage it. A cheap hand probably won't. So this is something I don't usually do. I don't usually go calling and relying on a Yakuhai pair, but I think this is fine in this case. We have a reasonable gap. We have a couple of ones we can decide to toss. Okay, fine. Good signaling is going on here, I think. Honestly, I'm just putting up a threat, I think, actually. Yeah, I probably overcooked this because I did what you shouldn't do and I called my only pair. So... which it is, because we consider this as our triplet, because it's our Gyaku at this point. The exception is if we can pair up anything else, we can potentially go Toy Toy. But that certainly wasn't the plan. So 2-pin, 5-pin, 4... so east for Tenpai here. And Prospero has played Dora and called. So Prospero's got to be there or thereabouts. Does mean if Prospero gets an east, he's probably going to have to play it, but as it turns out, he also called for Tenpai and just takes the 2. So yeah, we were a little aggressive there, but I mean, they can go cheap. That's all that matters in the close battle here. All right, this is a significantly worse hand than we've had previously, so let's just see where we are after a few turns. But I'm generally happy with how things have gone. And Rumi decided he wants in. As does Agan. So 5 discards in. Yeah, it's okay. We need a 7. We need a 7-pin, but if but we can work around that. Yeah, play a white. Hi there. How you doing? Okay, so we're back at pair, but again, probably going to be more likely to be a sequence. Although I suppose we do want to be the other side of this. Fedora. Glad to hear it, sir. Alright. Row 1. 2 out of the hand, late game. Well, mid game. Yeah, I figured it was there or thereabouts with a 2 discard. Because that did come out of his hand. It's not related to anything else he's discarded early game, but hey. Alright. So, Rumi's dealer turn. We have a 4-pair start and not... Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think we'd... Oh, okay. We don't even get to question it. So Prospero deciding to do the abortive draw, and our new hand is significantly better. Okay. Okay, south. So we're probably not doing a full send to take this Chinitsu, but this is a very easy turn pin. Yeah, I prefer the 5-7-9 shape here. This is still okay. We still probably would end up getting rid of the 8 at some point anyway, and just keeping the 8-9 relying on the 7 is not that big an improvement from what we already have, which is kind of this relying on a 7. So... Two-man's not helpful. Also, excuse me, 1 moment. Okay, and a row 1. And it looks like we're all going for some flavour of Tanpin. Free save from hand. So Rumi is probably Ishanten by now. Okay, somebody else is there. We don't have a lot of info to draw from this one, but we can follow with the safe tile initially, so... Nora's safe. We're going to play a 9, so... Yeah, so we don't have a lot to actually help us out against this one. We obviously have a triplet of the 4, which is a half CG, but it's not the best indicator in the world. And honestly, we're just going to follow the 5 pin. Yeah, it wasn't a great indicator, but this gives us Ishanten for a pretty good hand. What's the best thing to get rid of at this point? This is... we'll get rid of a 6 because it's safe. I feel the 6 is probably worth holding with this setup, though. Yeah, that feels like an error. I'm just trying to calculate it back now, but again, the alternative's dealing in. It's probably the best to just play the 6, but that's not good. So 5 was played in safe. 5 was played by Aegon in this safe. Also, Aegon played a 5. It's not a 4-7. Okay. Ian's hand suddenly taken off. Okay. Well, I have one more draw to try and win this. And I get the Haite. Double run! Okay, Riichi Haite are a free. That was actually a Riichi only other than that. And a 52. I mean, it was a late lunge, but yeah. maybe objectively that was the wrong move. But, I mean, the card after it kind of corrected any mistake from that, really, in terms of EVs. Again, Kara was the person for that exact calculation, but that's done quite well for us, really. Okay, into South Round. East. Again, probably don't want to force the Honitsu, Chinitsu side of things here, but... Ooh, Dora West. We're going to play that on turn 2. And then cry when we get our second one. Okay, so we have Ipeco. Not going to start calling, although it could be fun to try and make an all greens thing happen. I don't think that's necessarily the sequencing from here. Honitsu. Or Chanter, based on the middle things. I'm assuming that's chickens. Either that or Reagan's just on a bird thing at the moment. Well, we got ourselves kind of there. You know, honestly, we're not that far away from Chitoitsu here. Yeah, T-Man was played by Prospero, so we're going to go for that. Dodos, oh, okay. And no, they didn't. Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to keep both of these. Couple of towards the terminal ends of things here. We got Ipeco, so we can technically draw a 7 and have a pin for Ipeco. Especially against that. Well, my hand is getting more and more silly as we go on here. Well, that's for 2 man, which was fine. Do you think the 3 man's fine? I'm going to try it. Because this hand has suddenly got ridiculous at the moment. Ishanten. Tenpai. Shinitsu Toitoi. Eigen kills the Chinitsu Toitoi with an Itsu. Itsu red and 1. I mean, if only this was a pair of greens. If only that was a pair of greens. But, you know, we wouldn't have managed it either way, so it's fine. But it's nice having the big threat available. This hand is significantly lower on the threat assessment side of things, but mainly we were quite late to build that Chinitsu, but you expect a one-suit hand to take a while. And it looks like Rumi has decided enough is enough and is going to start pushing for wins, which is fine. You don't want me to be in the dealer position as any longer than you have to. $18k lead. You don't want that extended. Rumi also says for last dealer turn, so it's not impossible for him to make a comeback from this, but... Darn you, Epic. Ba-da-ba-da. Useful. So this opens up Chitoi. It also opens up Ipeco. Ipeco, it gives us the possible option of getting rid of this 8-9, just going that way around with things. Unfortunately, whichever way we're going, an Orc we've already discarded one of is not a useful addition. Live Chen in the second row. Passes. Okay, let's lean into Tanyo here. Well, we can safely ignore that, or relatively safely ignore that. Rumi could still want it. I'd say we lose big to a sumo here, but I think actually it's probably fine for us to just advance around it. Aegis has guarded nothing in the way of Manzi tiles. Rumi hasn't either. So I think we're just going to go with what we consider to be our low risk tiles and just start playing our Sozu out. Yeah, knew that was a risk. 2,000 from Aegon towards Rumi. Oh, those birds, they're not having a good time. Alright, Dora South. Which is probably dangerous given that Rumi is also a south seat here. So I think we're going to ask the question immediately. And from there, see what we're doing. So we have 3 pairs, but the rest of the hand isn't particularly good for Chitoi. Might still be what we end up having to go for, but we'll see. Okay, Aegon with Adila with Tom. And that's the second south discarded. What can you be waiting on? Half tempted to believe it is a Manzi Honetsu, but we'll see. He's only made the one call, so and we're not a million miles away from just being able to challenge it, so okay, looking okay. I don't know if we want to. We probably don't want to push this full Honitsu here. But we know the 7's going to be a safe tile against it, and obviously we now got Rumi to worry about. Honestly, drawing a 6-man is the best thing we can get right now, in a lot of ways. We can then cut a 9 to try and increase the chances of not having to discard a 4. Go that way around with things. Alright, Aegon takes a Honitsu. We did wonder if he was. But a few more points earned, and Aegon has a repeat. So, Aegon's comeback version 2 then. You managed an epic one last stream. Let's see if he can manage another one. We are hoping he can't. And this hand's pretty good enough that I think it's going to shut down whatever he's doing. Unless his hand is massively quick. Obviously, but you know, in a normal set of situations, this would be one of the stronger starting hands for speed. Okay. I mean, there's a possibility of doing some Sanshku shenanigans that might have meant the 8 was worth keeping in this position, but we're fine. We're still fine. We're just giving away absolutely zero information. Well, again, 6, 7, 8 Sanshku is the plan now, and also Tanya. So let's see if we can get a 7. I mean, that's actually not the worst thing for us, actually, because that gives us our pair, it gives us that. It doesn't allow us into Tanya, you know, but it does mean now that this 6, 7, 8 Sanshku is pretty definite. In fact, we can call a 1-4 here now, at this point. 9 doesn't help. The push continues. 5-pin. Alright, 7 from hand. So we can call that and have Tenpai, but I don't think that's important enough right now. We need the 7. Well, we know the 8's going to be a safe tile. No reach. There is no need for us to reach this. We have Sanshku, and that is enough because Eternal's already passed, we're already in the lead. This is just a case of whether we can finish it. I'm going to say, Freeman's likely to be useful. So, Tanya 1. We definitely folded that, even if people could, unless people registered it didn't come from our hands. One man is safe to all players. So we take the 4,000 with the Sanshku. And we move into last hand. So I've got a 22k lead. Any hand will do. This is a pretty okay start. Looking good for this. Indeed. But anyway. Hello, Roo. Just getting to the end of game 1, and then we'll be shuffling up for game 2, I think. Which might be an observation round. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I just need to close this out. So if we can get a Sanch Q, whichever way round it goes, actually, we'll go that way to try and finish it. Just need 7s. Yep, that'll do. That's a 7. I mean, honestly, yeah, like, let's lean into this. We got 1. We can get a 2nd. Still need a pair, actually, but... Yeah, actually, we probably should have just thrown the... Yeah, we should have thrown the 9. Even that is probably not the best of ideas. I mean, we could have gone... We could still take pin 2, potentially. Having discarded a 6, that's actually probably bad for us. Let's just throw this. Yeah, let's just yeah. We're being slow and clunky, and honestly, it's our fault. But sticking with it. Okay, still need that pair, but we have Sanchku. So 6-0, 7-0, free. Weirdly, I'm doing this because 6 is a safe tile. I don't actually think this is a good idea, but I can afford to deal into. I think I can afford to deal into this. That's a very brave discard from Aegon there, but he's in last place, so power to him. So, of course, I was about to say, we only win on the 6, but Aegon deals in, and that is enough points for a Chitoi, Riichi, and 2 Ura. C mode, that would have been Hanneman, but as it is Mungan, and that is enough for 2nd place. So, GG. Yeah, most of that victory earned in the early phase, but we held, so we'll take it. Okay, so as is kind of tradition, the 2nd round will be observation because I have to go off and feed the cats at the moment. We have 2 people currently queued. We have 4 people currently queued. So I'm going to start that game off. Demo, Legius, Prospero, Rumi. Good luck to you. I'm going to go and feed the cats for a bit, so I'll be back in 5 minutes, hopefully around the time that the game starts. So, bear with. And we are back. So, let's see how much longer we got to wait on this. In fact, we don't have to wait any time. Okay, so East 1. Let's quickly show off the hands here. We are following Rumi for the first hand. So, once again, we have a battle between our two best players, Demo and Rumi. Legius is a pretty decent player. He hasn't been around in a little while, but he is on the high end as well. So, could be a tough one for Prospero here. Let's find out. Also, ignore that. Swing that over there because I was typing a message out. There you go. Just trying to get the icons off the screen. Alright. So, Rumi, Dora 2. And some options here. Cuts to Friso, which is fine. Might be contemplating a Chitoitsu. Question is, what is everybody else contemplating here? Because Prospero's got a handful of pairs and triplets. Legius is getting there with the Concealed Dragon. And Demo's hand looks decent, but he's a bit behind everybody else at the moment. Also, Macass has decided that having eaten, he's now going to sit on my little poof and just stay with and just hang out there. He is extremely cute. Anyway, kitty concerns aside, that is another useful draw for Prospero, so that puts him Ishan 10 for pairs. Keeping the triplet for the possibility of an upgrade. There's an awesome draw for Rumi here, so that puts Rumi yeah, a couple away because he needs to get rid of one of his pairs, whichever way round he's going. Okay. Ishan 10 for Rumi. That is 2 triplets for Prospero. This could be a big finish, potentially. Does he want to risk it? I think it's still probably in your favor to do it at this point, I think. And he is. But there's Tenpai for Demo. And Tenpai for Rumi. And that is the Tile of Death for Prospero, potentially. Let's see what he can manage. Cheap dealing. Yeah, it's a shame. Unfortunately, it was a big hand. You kind of had to consider the chances of that, I guess. And honestly, breaking that up, even because it was all awkward middle tiles, probably would have been difficult, if not impossible. And I think, honestly, it'd be easy to just go for the big hand. Maximum payoff with what you're going for. Still, hands are a little disjointed. We'll see how things are in a few turns once they've got rid of their honours and sorted things out. Prospero leaning into the one suit aspect of things. Demo just with a long task of clearing the honor tiles off and then seeing where they are. Yeah, as long as you just get hands like this, and all you can really do is just clear the first 6 honors, find out where you are after 6 turns, and then make plans. And if you're still in the same position, I suppose the impossible hand considerations can exist, but they won't. But Tudora. In fact, not the only one with Tudora. Legius, Dealer, and Tudora is pretty much ideal. Shame he doesn't have the automatic Yaku, but hands building up there. He's decided to get rid of one pair for a different pair, so I assume he's just cutting for Tanya considerations. Might be worth cutting the 9-7, but... and keeping the pair of ones. But again, it's a very marginal upside there. Arguably, though... well, maybe not. Because now I can cover 9 fairly easily, have one of 7 or the 8 as his pair for the rest of the round. It's reasonable. Yes, he's gone hard force on Tanya. Might have been a little early to do the hard force on it, but I can understand it. Okay, dealer being aggressive. Okay, Prospero reaching on a closed Forso. 2 in hands, so 2 still on the wall to be considered. Yeah, Demo obviously calls that. Just takes Titania 2 to try and steal. Legius Tempai on the 6-0. So same odds between the two of them as it stands. Actually, slightly less odds, but 4 is also the indicator. This is a tricky one for Legius because, again, Prospero's not played any Sozu. So his weight was highly likely to be Sozu. But you have 2 Dora. One white played, but he decides to hold it for the moment. My Demo picks up the Forso, so that is all of Prospero's outs in people's hands. Does Demo think? Yeah, Demo play the 2-man here. Largely because if you look at the discards, that's a reasonable safe option. Both 3 and 6 are safe to this, so that's fine. 2 whites are played, so Legius can play this white. It's just obviously getting the rest of this done. There we go. So now Tempai for a 10, 6-9. And it looks like all the 6s are accounted for. Nope, there's 1 left. No, what do you want to do here? Got to be 1 so if you want to stay in it, but obviously that's one of the things he could be waiting on. Don't have any info, so let's just stick with it. So it's going to be a dealer repeat here. Well, actually, I assume it's going to be. Ooh, that's not good. You can play the 8 so because it's safe, and he does. But he loses out on the Tempai. And Prospero picks up the draw. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think Legius made the right call with that. Based on information he had, obviously. It would have been extremely reckless to play that out there, given the cost was basically 4,000 points, which would have all come from you. Well, actually, he didn't know the hand value, I guess, so, yeah. Still. So Prospero picks up the draw and now he's in the dealer position. Demo has overcalled him though, and has a pretty decent hand. Well, second bit of help for demo. I'm wondering if the 5 was keepable, but... I mean, the 899 doesn't really have a lot of things going for it, but equally, it's not inherently bad. You obviously want to keep the 5 free because of Fedora, so... Nah, maybe the 5 was cool there. Well, that's another sequence. So, which is the other reason for, I suppose, 8-9 is Sand Cube, because you don't know if that's going to be the pair or if that's going to be a sequence. And now he's hoping it's a sequence, I think. Okay, some options for this. Yeah, Legis is a bit of it unfortunate with his discards. He's also a bit behind everybody at this point, but still. I can't really fault most of this. Maybe the 3 off at the start was a bit optimistic, but yeah, just keep drawing and discarding those Hosey tiles. He needs a 7, but other than that, this hand's okay. Okay, he's breaking that up to a 9-6, which makes sense. Prospero can't keep this because he's already discarded a 9. Decides to keep it anyway. Because it's a middle tile, so it's going to be more risky the longer you keep it, is my reason I think that, in terms of things. It's just by going around a couple of turns, it makes this 6 ever so slightly more dangerous as turns go on and people refine their hands. Whereas the south was pretty safe. 1 already out. West in the same position here. The 6, though, is going to get increasingly more questionable as time goes on. Unless he's trying to keep it for a pair, for a Cheeto or something, but now he's going to discard it here. Looks like the 4-pin is dead. Well, I mean, there's a chance it comes out of Rumi's hand if he draws a 7-pin, but I don't think Rumi would play that. Yep. Risk made by Demo there. I'm surprised at that. Obviously felt it was worth the go, given he'd made 2 calls. But, you know, I'm still surprised he did that. He is our saintly person in the room, so we'll see. His reward for doing this, however, is that he has picked up a triplet Dora free to start with, and a hand that is pretty good for Junshan. That might not be what he ends up going for as a final hand, but it's still pretty good. Okay, Rumi with the Dragon Call. So Prospero picking up pairs of things. Might be worth Cheetoing with this. Okay, 3 replaces 3. And yeah, Demo obviously not carning or calling against that. There's a person with another call on the board, so yeah. However, 2 calls, that is definitely Tenpai. And Demo's kind of in trouble here. His hand's a bit awkward in terms of, you know, just in terms of getting a final Yaku. And he's been outsped. So that is a 1-7 pair weight for possibly Riichi and Sananko. 5's actually kind of useful here, if he can keep it going, and he does. Rumi obviously has made 2 calls, so he's committed and is going to challenge this. And 7's a useful draw. Is this going to bring out the 4-7? 4 obviously being Rumi's winning tile at the moment. Okay, press house. Demo is south at the moment, so this isn't the worst for him, but it is also a safe tile to have a reach. That's what he wants to do here. Size he wants to try for it. Prospero continuing to advance. That 4-7 is looking a bit precarious in your hand. Holding on to it for now. I mean, I don't want Prospero to deal in here. We want Prospero to do well, but okay, Sumo's happened. So let's reach Sumo Sananko. Okay, I missed the door, but I think it was Mangan anyway with the triplet of ones. Okay, so Legius takes the lead as we go into East 4 and Demo's dealer turn. So having had a triplet of Dora last time, he only has a pair. Well, 2, not a pair, obviously. And Legius is immediately off to the races because his hand is pretty fast. Oh, and apologies for all the yawning. I have been up since about 6 this morning. And have to work tomorrow. Boo work. Well, it's overtime and paid at time and a half overtime, so we are going to do it. Because, I mean, I kind of like having 12 hours of paid work for 8 hours of actual work. For both today and tomorrow. And then I have a bank holiday Monday, so yeah. It's not as if I don't have a reduced weekend. I do have a ton of time off, but yes. Boo. Indeed, money we've wished to spend on probably Kitty. Kitty, would you like me to spend money on you? Apologies for that. Anyway, I should probably commentate on the game, but you know. No help there. So I think Prospero slash maybe Legius are in a strongish position here. Dora's a little awkward. Does Prospero want to keep or throw? He needs to throw it really, but he's gonna switch. This potentially gave Demo an in, but he's still not really set up to be Tanyo at the moment. Where did Rumi get the title? Exemplar. Not sure. That's not what I meant to do. I don't know what you have to do to get that. I mean, of course, as mentioned, you have to be really, 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 really good at the game to get this one, though. Which Demo now has. Ah, okay. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Third row entering into, we have a Reach. This is a Reach double Dora Pinfu on a 4-7. Oh, Saint. Yeah, actually, there's a point, yeah. Let me just nudge things down here. So yeah, Demo hit Saint not so long ago. some reason I don't think that's where it's normally positioned, but hey, it's happened. Anyway, I've missed the reach and the deal in, so that is Riichi Patsu from Prospero. Yeah, no, he hit Saint he hit Saint last stream. You might, well, obviously, presumably before that, but you know, he hit that, and yeah. And you don't get that without being an extremely consistent player. Obviously, Tales of Confusion are sort of one-off matches for a large extent, and there's a lot of variance and stuff happens. People play things that I wouldn't necessarily... They play in ways that might not necessarily be optimal. I'm thinking myself and Mono for sort of examples of that. But yeah. In ranked games, these two are easily better players than me. Easily. If I had the patience and time to actually, you know, commit more time to actually studying and actually playing this game a bit more, then I could probably get to their level. Maybe that's overestimating my abilities, but that's honestly how I feel about where I am with things. That I'm at the level where I do actually probably need to study to actually get any further improvements on this, but either way... We're picking up wins and picking up points, and at some point I should really actually update that darn leaderboard and find out exactly where I am, because I'm probably at the top, or at least near the top. Meanwhile, we have Cheetoy going off from Prospero. We have a possible Dora discard. Oh, actually, no, not anymore. That's just going to be Pinfu, but 2 Dora Pinfu as dealer is absolutely fine. Demo has a bit of work to do. Lovely odds shape going through there, and that improves Legis' hand a half step. Probably looking to Tanyo. Oh, Prospero deliberately giving up the dragon, but I understand. He's got a reasonably good shot at this Cheetoy at the moment. One Andorra. I understand Andorra, but it's unlikely, unless before we know this. One man, though, is not a bad thing. One played. 3 pin, he wants to replace, obviously, that for a better final tile. Wait, but we'll see. So, increasing his chance of drawing something two-sided and useful. Meanwhile, is that Tenpai for Legius? That looks like it is. 2-5. Unfortunately, 2-5s in people's hands, 2-2s in Prospero's. So, yeah, how do you want to play this now? Oh, that's not great. Oh, that's even worse. Okay, I think Legis' hand is just dead. Well, let's see. That's a half step closer for demo. Rumi's still waiting on his final tile. And Prospero's still trying to draw that final pair. 2 is probably better bet shout than 3 pin, but it's whether you think 3 pin's worth a risk at this point. Actually, with 3 pin played, that was absolutely worth a risk. Okay, there's the reach and the Ipatsu, and oh, high end of his out as well. I mean, ultimately, the high end, low end didn't actually matter. Ipeka didn't improve that by position, but still. Ouch. Okay. Rumi then with a repeat and a 5-1 gap to Prospero, who's Hand looks okay. West is his own wind, obviously. East is no longer a bonus. Oh dear. No. Be strong, Legius. We believe. You've got a dealer turn coming up, we hope. The people want to know when the next spreadsheet manager next installment is. So the spreadsheet manager next installment will be whenever I decide to do it. At the moment, it is my regularly scheduled Mahjong, which is kind of spreadsheet-ish. I at least have some spreadsheets dedicated to Mahjong. Probably this weekend at some point, if I'm being honest, but as I've kind of alluded to earlier in this stream, I am actually working overtime this weekend, so I don't know if I'm going to have the spare time for it. If not, it'll be in next week some point. So Demon's looking decent. Probably going to have to toss that... Unfortunately, yes. Largely because it's paid at time and a half, this overtime. And obviously, I'm so swamped at work, I actually need to do it more than that. So, being forced in a position where I have to take overtime and I'm getting paid time and a half for it, yeah, we're going to do that. Might not commit the full day to it. I might just give up halfway through Saturday and decide, you know what, it's 1 PM, let's start streaming. But short of that, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the afternoon, and I might just be in the mood for other things rather than spreadsheets. We shall see. It will be announced in the Discord as and when, as early as I can do it, but yeah. Money. Okay, let's just with the counter reach. So, reach, Pinfu, Dora 1. 3-6 required. Unfortunately, 6s in people's hands. I mean, there's still a good number of outs. There's 4 outs that are still drawable. Question is, what's going to happen around that? Because obviously that is a Reach Cheetoy up top as well. Oof. Reach Cheetoy Dora 1. It's Mungan. Is it Hani? It is going to be Mungan. So Prospero solidifies his lead. And we move into Legis' dealer turn. And Legis has Yakuhai and Tudora. This is pretty ideal. The rest of the hand isn't that bad either. And obviously now he's immediately got that Yakuhai. So, okay, this is Legis' comeback. We believe in this being a comeback here. This is a Mungan at the moment with just the natural progression. Yeah, exactly. This is the sort of hand you want when you're in last place as dealer. Double Yakuhai as well. This is looking pretty good. What's other people got? Sedera's hand looks a little slow. It's reasonable, but it is slower than this, certainly. Prospero, triplets and pairs. Probably going to take him a little while. So I think the main challenge is how fast Rumi's going to be versus this. Okay, you're a call from Tenpai. Wait, 8-4-1 for Tenpai. No, that doesn't get you there. I was doing some weird mental gymnastics there, accepting the 9 there, but no, that doesn't actually help him. Door free. Tenpai attained. Obviously doesn't try and greed this to Toy Toy. There's no need. You've already got the Zealamunga. White and 4. 1 white played. Question is he going to finish before Rumi keeps the hand? So that 4 is not coming out of the hand because that's more useful than 7 if he were to do that. He might not play either, actually, and doesn't. So 1 of each remaining. I was about to say, Prospero could call this, but probably won't. Okay, that puts Prospero basically clear a pair to go, and that's what he's doing. Oh, that's... Okay. 1 tile remaining for Legius here. Evening, Carol. We're just watching Legius's comeback stall. And stall big. Not through any fault of his own. Oh, okay. This helps. Okay, that puts him onto the 2-5. Again, it's a lot of it's in people's hands, but this is a better weight. Not that he's got any way to know that. He does give up on the White Dragon side of things, but, you know, that's probably fine. He already has a Mungan. Five more draws to win this game. Yeah, but it's better than the 1 white dragon he had on the previous hand. Not that he's got any way to know any of this information, of course, but it still technically has upgraded his weight from 1 white dragon remaining. So, and even just in the normal course of things, your maximum number of tiles, ignoring what you see, has gone up from obviously he sees 1 white at that point. So that was basically 3 to 6, I think, based on 2s and 5s played. Actually, there are no 2s and 5s played, so obviously that takes him up to 8, as far as he's concerned. Ugh, now it's down to 1 again. Also, red 5s are a thing, so, you know, this technically upgrades the hand even further. Or at least in terms of considerations. No. Unfortunately, Prospero has dealt into Rumi, and that kills that part of the comeback. Yep, we feel your agony, Legius. We feel it. Okay, Prospero's dealer turn. A pair of greens which are shared with Legius, so those two are going to have a little duel over those a little later, I'm sure. Meanwhile, Rumi just has the honor tile, and actually a really rapid hand. He's Ishanten already. Yeah, this is just how quickly can Rumi finish this, I think. I mean, it's 3 pairs, so it's not the optimal way round, and obviously if he draws a 7, so that also gets him there, but... Glad to hear, sir. Yeah, it feels like ages since I last played, even though it has only been a week, just because it's been a really long week. I've had parents around, and also this is the busy time at work, and also it's so busy that I'm getting given overtime this weekend, so I have to work out. I have to work some of this weekend. Well, I don't have to, but at time and a half, it feels silly not to. 11 AM for reasons. Ah, well, I hope you're successful in whatever those reasons happen to be. Well, we shall see. Well, I mean, being awake is a requirement to have fun most of the time. Most of the time. Okay, that's Tenpai for Rumi on the 6-8. So 1 in people's hands. Both seem unlikely to move, so 2 remaining outs. And Demo's now got his double south. And some options here. Oh, that's... Yeah, that feels like it's going to lead to problems. I guess Cheetoy is still a thing, but... Oh, he's gone Toy Toy. Yeah, I mean, obviously that was unfortunate. And it is only 1,000 points, but Rumi's at the point of just spinning for second at this point, I think. Alright, into South 4. Comeback chances are basically non-existent for Legius here, but we'll see what he can manage. He can gain positions, though. Demo, as dealer, can just keep going as long as he wins. I imagine not for very long, based on the fact that he's already said he misplayed that hand, unless he was talking about that one in particular, and he's just being aware and talkative, which is fine. Oh dear. Well, unfortunately, at times, Mahjong is soul-sucking. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's sometimes what happens. And Ruby again looks to have... Actually, no, Legius' hand is decent, but not valuable enough. But, it's, yeah. Should be able to gain a position if he pulls that off, though. Prospero still clearing honors. Is it worth keeping in that position? Probably not, actually, given the rest of the hand. Okay, red 5 for demo, so 2 Dora for the dealer. So Tanya Dora 2. Okay, that's Tenpai from Legius. Who I think does have to reach this because he's not got Pinfu. So, reaching 1 might not get over the line, but it's probably the best shot he's got. Okay, Demo Ishanten. I guess he kind of was anyway, but still. Could have called that for Tenpai, I guess. Refresh bug? Am I missing something with a refresh? Or clip ready up and it crashed. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh well. Such things happens, but obviously, call for Tenpai is usually a good move if you're dealer. But I guess there was other considerations as well. Either way, Legius picks up the 3rd place. Prospero takes the win. Rumi ends for positive points, and I'm now going to get myself into a game. Thank you. Not last. Okay, so I have 5 here. Kyril gets in. I get in because I wasn't involved in the last game. So I'm just going to do a D3 roll-off for who doesn't get in between the other 3 players. So bear with. It is 1-2. So that is Prospero. He's not going to be into this one because he was first in the queue. So Kyril, myself, Demo, Rumi. This doesn't feel horrible at all. Let's go. Yep, good luck. Prospero gets into the next one if we have another one, and I might have another one actually because I do have work. I do have work tomorrow, but I don't mind. I can do one more game. Okay, I mean, I've been in good form. I shouldn't have much to worry about this, but I'm on a table with potentially 3 better players than me. In fact, probably 3 better players than me. Let's be honest about this. Okay, let's just hope that my luck balances out. Okay, 1 man. So we're a bit away from things, but we can definitely go White Dragon and something. Don't know if we want to force full Honitsu here, but it's definitely a consideration. Maybe not now. Okay. Free pin, not helpful. Would have been had to get the previous 2 discards, but that's just the way that goes. Okay, so now the question is, do we get rid of 5-7? Because we could do that. Probably not now. Yeah, this is what I thought. Honestly, I'm just glad I'm not dealer right this position, but I've still got problems. Because I've also got to concern myself with whether demo's still in this or not. Still. We are definitely folding this gun. This one, and we'll see how it goes on from there. There's the south, and that is Rumi with a... Yeah. Riichi Toy 2. And that is a big pickup for Rumi. Okay, East 2. Pair of 7s is okay, given Chiral a dragon, which is unfortunate, but hey, have to do it. So reliant on a 7 so with the current loadout, but we could, that's fine. East is also safe, so draw a 1. Okay, Carol's there, and I have a safe final tile for the go. Pinfu 1. Ouch. Well, Rumi's picked up back-to-back Mungans off of demo, which is... I mean, it's currently fine for me, although Kyrill's ahead on priority. Yeah. What am I going to do with this? Hey man, I guess. This is not what I really want out of a dealer hand, I'm going to be honest. Alright, up to 4 pairs. Ruby's still going. Thankfully, we have a safe discard to that, so we will keep on with it, I guess. Ishanten. North 7 pin, 1 man. Don't like going triplets because this is the sort of hand it leads to, and it's just there's very few tiles that actually help. You just get stuck with really difficult tiles. Yeah, would love to be able to call that. I have 2 safe tiles if nothing else, so it's not the end of the world for this, but... yeah, safe tile's gone. And Rumi just sumos immediately. Ah, Mungan during my dealer turn as well. Stop giving him Fedora. Ow. My points. Alright, well, Rumi is now dealer and just needs a Hanneman to just clean this game up immediately. But ow, I feel like I've not been able to do anything this game, weirdly. Already East 4 and not had a chance. Alright. We can manage, though. This is not done. Well, looks like everybody's on the sort of turn pin line for the most part. Well, maybe not. I'd love to counterattack this, but I'm really quite a way away from it. Do I just start playing safety immediately? Which horrible monster? They're all horrible monsters and very nice people. Yes, Tubin's looking awkward here. I'm not going to get that. Kind of concerned about the 8 so actually. A little less now. Yay! Please be more than 3,000 points. 29 plus... no, nothing. God darn it! That might matter in a few moments. He's about to auto-win. Alright, okay. Yeah, Rumi's on a rampage, and it seems unstoppable. But, we can't lose hope. That's what he wants. And this hand is pretty good. This hand is actually kind of amazing. Ishanten. I mean, it's reach 1, but it gets me above Chiral, so it's amazing in that context as well. Alright, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. And would not say no to another 9 pin. God darn it! They're trying to outspeed me. And it's working. Alright, dragon passes. I just need one win to get myself above Chiral safely, and that's it. I can suffer in silence after that point. Alright, come on, 3, 6, 9, 5, 8. Okay. So, not immediately a problem, but obviously something I've got to work around now.
Riichi.
5-8. Multi-Dora Reach. Let's go. There are 7 winners. This is a big hand. Exactly on my weight as well. Ah, well. I didn't give him any... Actually, no, I did give him a Kandora. Exactly on my weight as well. Oh dear. Well, this is still a monster hand that I'm looking at here, so I can't be too upset, but I've just missed one monster. Okay. I need to draw this south, really. I mean, the hand's big enough that I think we can gamble anyway, but... if we don't start pushing something, we're going to have problems. problem with monster hands is they don't tend to convert very often. Okay, let's go with that. I feel that there's an error of judgment been made somewhere, but let's try anyway. 7-8 should be relatively safe to Rumi if we have to play it, so that's kind of my backup logic on this.
Boom.
Nagashi is on. Ah, dear. Well, I'm asking the question. He's clearly just in tempo for something, but you know. Oh, god damn it. We can't let him have it.
Boom.
I mean, technically I helped him out a little bit there, but you know. Can't let him have it. Free so is exactly what I needed. Yeah, I think he's got it. That's really going to depress me if he manages this. Yes! Sounds good. I mean, I technically did help him out one draw, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, I was chasing, but I couldn't quite manage it. Alright, Dargan. So I need to keep the 7s because actually it's in my interest to Khan right now with the point gaps. Good draw. Long pause from Chiron, discard free. Oh, he's just typing, that's why. Yeah, that logic cost him 4,000 points basically. He has a point gap. Yeah, I guess what I'd already called it probably was. Alright, come on. South would be awesome, but usable. Okay, we can potentially go Reach Dora 1. Closed 8 or 1-4. Yeah, think about that, but no. Ishanten? Mori Shanten. Discarded a whole sequence.
Riichi.
Okay.
Riichi.
One of each. 3 is a safe tile, at least of that. Doubt we're going to manage this.
Tsumo. Riichi. Tsumo. Pinfu. Dora.
Yeah, that was a superior hand to mine, but... Ugh, okay. Dealer turn, though. Let's see what we can manage. Okay, 3 pairs. Maybe I should have kept that 9 on that basis. Probably. Almost definitely now. Okay. 4 pairs. 8, 8. 2 middle tiles and a Dargon. Okay, white free 8 and something.
Riichi.
Reach Chitoya's dealer. I keep drawing 6s and 7s. Not good. I've actually discarded 2 pairs now. Not much you can do about this, so it's reasonably good for me that the 7s are being slowly cut. Well, the cutoff there. Also 9s played, so... Also, too, I mean, there's... I don't think I'm going to get dealing from either of these two, but in terms of octaves, you know, Manzu looked really dangerous against me. So there's a possibility the 8-pin will come out, but... Obviously... Yeah, 5 wouldn't, so nobody's going to test it on that basis. It is connected to Fedora, though, the 8, so they might pass on it for that reason. Still. Dora discarded. Which probably identifies that if I am on a Pinsy weight, it is 5-8, but... Alright, come on, 8-pin. Need something. I've gone Dora, and just like that. So probably 369 Manzu is the call on what I've got, if anything. Although 9 has been played twice by Carol, so maybe not. Come on, 8-pin. One more draw for 8-pin. One time, please, game. 8-pin. Come on, 8-pin. No. No, Kara's not giving me an extra draw.
天杯当然のことです。
Well, take my draw. Nah, I don't like waiting on random dragons, incidentally. But to be fair, because my discards had no Pinzu had no Manzu in them, it was better not to indicate a Honitsu. If somebody had clocked it was possibly that, it was worth going. But hey, doesn't matter ultimately. It was a one-off, so would have been better if I'd have kept the thing earlier and actually had the weight self-drawn, which I would have had I done the sequencing correctly and kept the right tile at the right point in turn 2. But turn 2, discard 3, whatever it was. Anyway, we keep on with the dealer turn, so it's fine. We keep discarding easts, which is less fine. So is Nageshi on? Could we find that out? Probably a bit early considering that, but you know. Okay, white. See, that's the kind of tile I wanted, but didn't happen. That's a reasonable draw. We'll go for the close 2 for just a white 5 weight. Or white into the basically dead weight that now exists, I guess. Yeah, we can take that. Ultimately, it doesn't change anything, but it gives us the extra Dora, so might as well. Late game 5, man. Well, I mean, that's good and it's bad. Well, these are also 1,000 points. But ultimately, I've lost my dealer turn. So it's more bad than it is good for me. Last hand, I need a Mangan to overtake Chiral. But Denver needs that one extra door to make that happen. At least in terms of position change that way. Probably going to get Chitoy. Discard the 3, hopefully waiting on a 6. Okay, additional options exist, but none of these are particularly valuable. Khan West and Hope, I think, ultimately. That's all I've got for me. Or a free. Yeah, reaching a 4-pin. Wait, let's go. If I hit her at 3, I will beat Chiral. Unfortunately, I'm not going to hit her at 3 because, of course, there are 4 south spins discarded, so yeah. Reach Sumo Ura 2, though, potentially. And, of course, I can still Khan West. I won't get... Well, I might get some Ura out of that. Who knows? But I'm almost certainly not going to get a 4-pin.
Riichi.
Battle! There, well, I'm in last, unless that is a really tiny hand. I think that's enough to matter. God damn it. Ah, well, forfeit it. I had no chance here, had to try for something, and, you know, the alternative was what? Waiting and probably falling behind demo anyway. So, yeah. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. And my plus streak comes to an end with that. Alas. Alas, failure. Initially, yeah, that kind of set the tone for the game, really, and unfortunately I just got stuck into chasing Chiral, unfortunately, towards the end of that, which, to be fair, was, you know, was the plan. Oh, dear. Yeah, indeed. I didn't really have a lot going for me in that hand because I was sort of hoping for Uridura, then realised my big hit was actually dead for Uridura. So, well. Oh dear. If people do want to do one more game, I'm happy to start that off. But if not, I'm going to end the stream here, I think. No, looks like that's just going to be it then. Alright, well, thanks for joining me. We'll definitely be doing this again next week, and we'll see how things go. So, I will catch you all later. Until then.